Good starlight once again, friends. Clarnax 342 is back with another great classic of rehistoric literature, Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Before teleportation, people travelled long distances in giant metal tubes called aeroplanes. They had the tendency to fall out of the sky and leave you deserted on an island, similar to the documentary series Lost. This is what happens in our story as a plane comes crashing down on a remote island, leaving children from an all-boys school to fend for themselves. What could possibly go wrong? One of the boys, Ralph, emerges as an immediate leader using a conch shell as a horn to gather all of the survivors. His lieutenant is an overweight boy called Piggy, which I assume is some kind of 20th century name, and Piggy wears glasses. You know these frames that we all wear now to look oh so fashionable? They used to put lenses in them to correct their vision. That's before we genetically perfected sight. The boys' choir does not want Ralph to lead, creating the first tension in the group. But Ralph seems to be a good leader and allows their head choir boy, Jack, to run his group as the island's hunters. Win-win. The conch shell becomes important as the person with the conch shell held the power to speak at their gatherings. All hail magic conch! They established 3 rules on the island: have fun, survive, and maintain a smoke signal so a passing ship may find them. You know, because nothing can go wrong with these genius rules. Oh, and if you're lost at ships, just think about an aeroplane without the wings on water. Again, they didn't have teleporters back then. Simon emerges as a third leader, protector of the younger boys. He leads the construction of shelters. The boys have no way of building a fire, so they are forced to use Piggy's glasses to create a spark. And for the life of me, I had no idea that's how you could start a fire. I thought the only way to start a fire was via voice command. The majority of boys are more focused on having fun than helping out on the island, and Jack uses this to his advantage. He stokes fears of a monster on the island they call the Beast. Ralph tries to convince them that Jack is making it all up, but Jack wins people over by promising to kill it. One day, he takes the team assigned to maintain the smoke signals and goes to hunt the Beast, causing the fire to go out and a ship to miss the survivors. Smooth move, Jack. Ralph becomes sick of dealing with people who won't listen to him and wants to step down as leader, but Piggy convinces him that Jack will take full control. It's like with the Neptunians, you know exactly what I'm talking about. While the boys sleep, a fighter pilot is forced to eject over the island. He dies mid-air and parachutes into a tree where he is tangled on top of the mountain. Some of the boys find the body on a scouting trip and think it is confirmation of the Beast. Ralph goes out and sees the parachute shape, finally believing it really is a scary ape. I don't know what they're all so afraid of, because all of the apes that I know personally are so dope. Jack tries to unseat Ralph as the leader, but the other boys don't want to vote him out. Either way, the groups are fractured and the power starts shifting towards Jack. Jack's leadership begins with the ritual sacrifice of a boar and a massive feast. He places the head on a stake, which is kind of weird, and even Ralph and Piggy join in on the feast. Meanwhile, Simon finds the boar head and imagines it is a deity called Lord of the Flies. But the Lord of the Flies reveals that the Beast was within each and every boy this whole time. Simon finds the dead body in the trees and realizes that there never was a Beast. He goes to tell the rest of the boys, but they confuse him for the Beast and beat him to death. Ralph and Piggy join in on beating Simon, but are horrified the next day when they realize what they have done. Meanwhile, Jack figures out the most valuable resource on the island is Piggy's glasses, because they can start fires. Like, we're talking, he who has the glasses is the grandest glibner at the glibtacular. Jack and his hunters attack Ralph and Piggy and steal the glasses from them. Ralph goes to reason with them, but they end up fighting. One of Jack's men drops a boulder down, killing Piggy and destroying the conch shell. Boys to Men. There's a music group of that time that has exactly the same name. I'm pretty sure that's where they got it from. Ralph barely manages to escape alive. Jack begins starting fires around the island, trying to draw Ralph out, but they get out of control and overtake the trees. Ralph reaches his final breath and collapses. Realizing he's done, but instead of Jack finding him, a British naval officer does. Ralph breaks down like the little boy he is, as do the other boys when they arrive. The officer is stunned by what they have become. But let's be real, it's not that surprising. They have a saying in this time. I guess it's something like, boys will be boys. I think we can all figure out the takeaway from this. Without the structure of society, power and ego rule. Also, kids are the worst. Well, that's it for another blast from the past. Join me again next time for another ancient classic.